There are two questions that every guitar player ultimately ends up asking themselves. How badly do I really need health insurance? And should I get a 12 string? Well, I can tell you from personal experience, as someone who's owned a couple 12 strings, never play my 12 string. I love the idea of having a 12 string guitar, but I never, ever play it. Which is why this guitar is so interesting. So I am at the Martin factory, and they just announced the release of this Johnny Marr signature guitar, okay? You may notice something interesting about this. It has 7 strings, okay? So Johnny Marr is a guitar player mostly known for the Smiths. I actually know him more through Modest Mouse, a couple albums he did with them. But this is a really interesting guitar, right? So this is an M body style, which is actually my favorite Martin guitar body style, also known as a quadruple O. Basically, it's wide, it has a wider bout, but it's also thinner. So I think it feels a little more comfortable to play, even though it's kind of bigger than a dreadnought in some ways, but also smaller. But what I find most interesting about this guitar is that it has 7 strings, okay? So right now I've got it tuned to standard, E, A, D, G, G, B, E. So that's right, we have 2 Gs here. So kind of like a 12 string. And what's really interesting to me about this is it sounds like the best parts of having a 12 string, but without actually being a 12 string, right? So I'm gonna mic this up a little more professionally in just a second, but quickly it's just like, so to me, it has the brightness of what makes a 12 string really cool, but it doesn't play much different than a regular guitar, right? So I think the best part of it is doing anything open where the G string is gonna ring open. Again, I've literally never seen a guitar like this in my entire life. It's funny, I didn't even clock it as having 7 strings. It's like my eyes just kind of like adjusted this to 3 tuners on the side. But yeah, super, super interesting guitar. Anyways, I kind of want to mic this up. I've got a AKG C14 that I'll throw on it, and then maybe mix it a little bit. But man, this guitar is awesome and such an interesting, unique vibe. So let's mic it up and see what we can play. So the thing that I'm actually learning a lot about this is you can make it sound like a 12 string or make it sound like a 6 string depending on how you're playing. Because if you upstroke it, you're really just gonna get the low G, and then if you downstroke it, you get that high G, right? Like if I just play regular chords, just kind of upstroked, sounds a little bit different if I'm going. So your playing style kind of accentuates the brightness. And especially if you're doing kind of like finger style stuff, you can actually, you know, like if you're picking up, right? I can't even tell that it's a 7 string unless I really dig in. So really, really interesting idea. Again, this is like the first time I'm ever seeing anything like this. So super interesting guitar that you know, Martin and Johnny Marr kind of made together. So this is a pretty limited edition. I'll have an affiliate link in the description if you guys are interested. But yeah, really, I'm still trying to figure out like the best way to kind of utilize this. But yeah, it's just really cool because you can get it to sound like a 12 string, but it doesn't have 12 strings, and you don't have to worry about restringing 12 strings. That's another sneaky worst thing about owning a 12 string. It's like, oh, I got to replace these strings, and now it's going to take a minute to kind of get that done. So yeah, super cool. You know, shout out to Martin for doing something interesting. Like I said, big fan of the M body style too. It has 3-piece back, kind of like my D35 that I love. So yeah, lot to like about this guy. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and thanks again to Martin for having me out here at their factory and kind of showing me around and giving me some cool access to all this stuff. Thanks for watching.